Now you're looking at pictures tonight. Once again, demonstrators protesting outside of Dr. Amy Acton's home. This came after hours, just hours after Governor Mike DeWine called their actions, and you heard him, quote, "not fair game." As Laura Caso tells us, tonight's incident is just the latest battle between those most aggressively calling for a faster reopening of the state and state leaders standing up to them.
I'm the elected official. I'm the one who ran for office. I'm the one who makes the policy decisions.
And he's also the one asking protesters to have some respect. He's talking about these pictures. Protesters outside of Dr. Amy Acton's home in Columbus. The small group is protesting restrictions, expressing frustration at the state stay-at-home orders, which Dr. Acton signed.
When you don't like the policy, again, you can demonstrate against me. That is certainly fair game. But to bother the family of Dr. Acton, I don't think that's fair game.
Protesters held signs reading, "Dr. Amy overreacting" and "Let freedom work." Governor DeWine isn't having it.
You can get your point across very, very easily any day of the week with demonstrations against what I am doing.
The governor is also taking a stand for members of the media, speaking out against those who have focused their efforts against them.
To treat them with disrespect, to not observe social distancing with them, to be just obnoxious, I just find that very, very sad. So come after me. I'm fair game. They're not.
And when you see those protesters, you see crowds. Meantime, the governor says that as we continue into the next phase, we cannot stop social distancing, going on to say that the coronavirus is still here in Ohio. Laura Caso, 3 News.